Hi, I'm Amy. Welcome to the video. Hey guys, today's video is going to be my December monthly makeup basket as well as a little mini review on everything that I had in my November basket. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then just keep watching. First of all, the Becca Under Eye Corrector. I don't know why people rave about it. I did not find very much of a difference at all. If anything, it was just like a little bit, and it was the most useful if I wasn't wearing makeup at all. But usually I don't put anything on if I'm gonna wear no makeup. I'm not gonna lightly conceal just my under eyes. I would rather take concealer and do like a very light everyday situation. So for the way that I do my makeup, I did not find this very useful. It's good at what it does, but I didn't find that it made too much of a difference in how my concealers were performing. So I would not recommend this, and I wouldn't purchase it again, but I will use it since I have it. The Believe Beauty Foundation, I loved it. I loved it again. It's beautiful. It's $5. If you have not tried it, go get your hands on it. Just try it. It's really worth the try. I really enjoy it, but it is going to go back in my collection. The e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation. You guys, I was really expecting to put this on my face and be like, nope, that's it, I hate it. But you know what I did instead? So in order to apply it this time, instead of just going in like I normally do, I actually cut it with hyaluronic acid, like a serum, like a liquid serum. So I took the Versed hyaluronic acid, which I use in my skincare every day and night, and I put a drop or two in my hand and then a pump or two of this and mix it up, and it created a very nice soft light situation. But this has a lot of coverage, so it was still like a full coverage, but it actually looked so much better at the end of the day. It wasn't all kinds of gunked up all around my mouth. It's still not my favorite foundation, and it does mean that I have to mix it with something to use it. But I don't think I'm gonna declutter it. I think I'm gonna keep it around. One thing I'd like to do is find a drugstore alternative to the Versed hyaluronic acid. The Versed hyaluronic acid is technically available at Target, so it is drugstore, but it's like $16 or $17. And since this foundation is only like $5 or $6, I prefer to find something that is a little bit cheaper so that it doesn't end up being like a high-end foundation price by the end of it in the way that I use it. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. That update surprised me the most. The Profusion little contour palette, studio contour palette, I love this. I highly recommend this. I love it. I don't know what to tell you. It's very good. I even liked the highlight. It's not my favorite highlight since it is more of like a yellow leaning highlight, like a yellow gold champagne, and I go normally towards something a little bit more pink. But this shade right here, this whole palette is worth it for me. If you are pale, this shade is so good. And obviously like these two are much darker, so I mean that's pretty deep for a like multi-face palette. Normally you get like, here's a medium skin tone with or without a tan. So I do think that this is a really great for such an affordable price. It's like $5 or $6. So I highly recommend this if you have not tried it. Okay, we got all my blushes here. I still love all of these. I had a lot of fun using them. I'm very sad to be putting them away and having to use something else. But yeah, I really love all of these. The Cover FX blushes, any blush color that you like out of it, but Warm Honey is my favorite, and I also have Sweet Peach and then Magic Hour in the Tower 28. So loved all of that. The two highlighters that I had the Lorac Celestial in the Mega Beam highlighter, and then Becca Opal. Becca Opal was a really good like dupe comparison for the Essence highlighter that I use, the Pure Nude highlighter. This one I think actually has like a little bit of a sparkle to it, which isn't my favorite, but it worked really beautifully as like a finishing powder and highlight, which is how I use the Essence Pure Nude one. So if you've been eyeing the Becca Opal highlight and you've never tried it, I say go ahead and get the Essence one, but I do like this and would recommend it. As well as this. This is not for the faint of heart. This is an extremely pigmented, extremely vibrant, beaming highlight, but I really enjoyed it and would recommend it. Let's see, and now all I have left are the eyes. All three of these things I love. I had a really good month last month. The ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Here We Go Again. I really love that. I have that tapped over in the center of what's going on in my eye. This eye look is coming. So I have like a green on already, but then I put this yellow on over it for this video. And I really like that. And then I also, for this video, added a little bit of these cranberries to kind of warm up the outer corner a little bit from the Lottie London The Rusts palette. If you've never tried Lottie London eyeshadow palettes, I highly recommend these little 9 pans. I have the mauves and the rusts now, and they're beautiful shadows, especially for the drugstore. I think it's like $7 or $8. You get a wide variety in here. It goes pretty deep, it goes pretty light. You're getting a few different kinds of textures. I really think these are highly underrated at the drugstore, and I highly recommend. And then the e.l.f. little pumpkin pie. This was super fun. These metallics here are like out of this world. They are amazingly beautiful. So if you have not tried one of the e.l.f. bite-sized duos, I do highly recommend this one. I think this would be a really good staple just to have in your collection, because who doesn't love warm shades? Okay, that is everything from last month. I tried so hard to get through that, but I really did enjoy everything that I had last month. So I'm a little nervous for what I'm gonna put in for this month, and let's hope that I have just as good of luck, okay? All right. For the month of December, my monthly makeup basket is going to consist of my Alma Beauty foundation. I did not love it, and everybody has been raving and raving and raving, and I know that I am really curious about the blue cap. So I might buy the blue cap to test it out, but because I found luck with that e.l.f. foundation, and I like this one way more than I liked the e.l.f. one, I'm thinking maybe if I just mix in a little bit of hyaluronic acid or a little bit of a oil or something, that I will like it better, because I did like the finish and the lasting power of it. So I want to try this again and give it a few more tries. And then same thing really for the Imperfect BB cream. Now I did like this, and I do think like that one is a little bit more on the matte side. This one is a little bit more on the creamy. Like that one's thin and kind of satin matte. This one's a little bit more creamy and a little bit more dewy. So I thought having both of them would be great. And this one I thought would be really good coming into the cold, where I'm probably going to be a little bit more dry. And a lot of people have been commenting on that video more recently, telling me that I need to try using like a thinner layer or try using my hands. So I want to try this out in a few different ways as well. And then the concealer, I'm going to just keep my Project Pan concealer in, so hopefully we can get it out of my collection by the end of the year. And then for under eye powder, I do have my Project Pan one that I'm going to be keeping in until that falls apart. But I am going to also throw in the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder, which is a nice bright powder. And I'm doing that because for my face setting powder, I want to bring in the Elizabeth Arden powder. I talked about this in my declutter with my powders and bronzers, and I knew I wanted to put this into my next monthly makeup basket because I really used to love this powder. I have not tried it in a very long time. I'm curious to see how I feel about it now. And I'm also want to show you guys if I still like it, that it is a beautiful powder, because I just feel like Elizabeth Arden is not really a makeup brand many people are talking about. And then also in that same video, I mentioned that I wanted to pull this one in next. This is the LA Girl Pro Contour Powder, and it also has a highlight, so in case that banana powder is a little bit too bright, I'll have this as well. But I thought this was a beautiful contour color, and I haven't used it in a long time, so I'm curious to see how it looks. And then I also am bringing in this other Profusion contour palette. This one's Highlight and Contour number 1. So I'll have a variety of highlights in here as well as these contours. I kind of want to be able to use this one since I used the other Profusion one last month and kind of compare and get my thoughts of between the two. Which one would I recommend? If I need to keep both in my collection or not. So I thought I would pull this one in just so that I'm like, it's really fresh on the brain, the other one. So pulling this in, and I know that has 3 highlighters, but I wanted to pull this in, this Smashbox one, because I haven't used this in such a long time, and these are really beautiful highlights. And I thought that this highlighter that I don't really like because it has large chunks of glitter would be really, really pretty on like a winter look, you know, to have a little bit of sparkle, and that way I can get some use out of it, out of a shade that I'm probably not going to use. I will probably use it on my eyes and not really my face because of the glitter, but it is such a nice little sparkly touch. I think that would be really beautiful on the eyes, so I wanted to pull this one in. And then I brought in 2 blushes. They're both powder blushes. I need to purchase some more cream blushes. But for this month's basket, I'm going to pull in my MAC Mocha, which is like this. It's a little bit more cool toned, kind of rosy shade, and then my Bare Minerals Gin Nude, that peach though, which gives me a little bit of a warm option. So I could go either way. I could maybe mix into them. So I'm bringing those in. And then for the eyes, I technically have 4 palettes here, but I think it'll work together. So let me show you. So I really wanted to pull in this Kimchi Chic Juicy 9 Juicy Velvet palette. I used this in a trying new makeup first impression situation. I will link that here if you have not seen it. But I definitely mentioned in that video that I thought these colors would be really beautiful for the holiday season. You have like this olivey green, this emerald green. I just feel like super beautiful. And you also have this bright red if you wanted to like do a red eye look, which I feel like would be kind of interesting. So I wanted to bring this in, but this one is all shimmers. So I wanted to bring in something that was all matte. And this is something that I have not used in a very long time, and I didn't even use very often when I purchased it. But I bought this little Makeup Forever 4-pack, and it's all mattes. And we have like a tan color, a brown color, a like khaki green, and then a peach color. I think those would be like a really great neutral base for what's going on over here. So I wanted to pull that in and get my opinion on this eyeshadow formula since I have not used it that much. And then I also want to pull in this Natasha Denona little 5-pan. It's the Mini Lila. And I thought that these kind of more purpley shades would be really beautiful and kind of set off some of what's going on in here. And then this tan shade would be really great because it's kind of in between the browns in this palette. So it would give me kind of a good transition. And then also the, let me wipe off my hand. The like gold shimmer in here would be a very beautiful situation. It's this one right here. Situation as well. And then the 4th palette, I did say 4, right? Is I'm going to bring in this little Milani quad. It is the Naples Fierce Foil Eye Shine. Now these are more like toppers, but they're really interesting. Like, they're kind of like chunky foils, but they, look at how wet they make it, you know, how wet they look. Let's see. And this one's like silver, and then you have like this cool brown. So I definitely thought these would be super fun to bring in as well to kind of spice up the season. I'm gonna just kind of tap these on my hand here. So these are these 4 down here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're super wet looking. And I don't know, I just thought they would be really beautiful, especially mixed in. And I have a variety of metallics now to work from. I thought that'd be a really interesting little selection of palettes to pull in. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. You're getting oh my god.